For the first time since week one, the Jacksonville Jaguars are sitting in first place in the AFC South. But with the Colts and the red hot Texans breathing down our necks, can the Jacksonville Jaguars actually hold on to the number one seed in the AFC South? What is going on, everyone? This is Jag Central and I hope you're all doing well. I'm recording this a little later in the week and it's kind of giving me time to kind of look at the playoff picture, and wow, the way things have changed is unbelievable. If you remember a few weeks ago when the Jags were going into their bye week, they had just lost to the Seahawks and to the Rams and it wasn't looking all good. Since then, the Jags have won 4 of the last 5 and now they sit number 1 in the AFC South. And last weekend, the Jacksonville Jaguars went into Nashville and dominated the Titans 25-3. That was great. But the real story is what's happening around us. The Indianapolis Colts have lost the last 3 of their last 4 games, and meanwhile we've won the last 4 of our last 5. And the way the two teams are going in completely different directions is setting up for a massive showdown this week against the Colts. But we also have to talk about the Houston Texans. They've kind of been quietly one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Their defense is unbelievable, and they're literally keeping this team alive. The Texans had started 0-3. It looked like it was all over for them after week 3, but they have just found a way to stay alive in this race. So the question is, can the Jacksonville Jaguars actually pull this off and keep the number 1 place in the AFC South? So let's kind of look ahead to the road ahead, especially like looking at the schedules for the Colts and the Texans, and it kind of tells a fascinating story. So number 1, let's go with the Colts. They have one of the toughest remaining schedules in the entire league. Like, they play 5 straight games against playoff contenders. So they play 2 games against us, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They play against the 49ers and the Seahawks, 2 NFC powerhouses. And then they have to end the season in Houston. That is a brutal stretch for a team that is currently sliding. Then you have the Texans, and they have a tricky path as well. They have 2 tough road games against the Chiefs and the Chargers, and then they have favourable home games against the Cardinals and the Raiders. If they can navigate maybe 3 out of 4 wins, then they are going to be in a huge position going into week 18 hosting the Colts. So essentially the Texans can either win out and hope the Jags lose and they can get the number 1 seed that way, or they can just win out and basically get a wild card spot through the playoffs. But it's going to be a big next few weeks. And then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I kind of look at the Jacksonville Jaguars path to the playoffs as a kind of a boom or bust, because we have 2 massive games against the Colts which will likely decide the division, but then we also have a tough road trip against Denver, and they're literally leading the AFC West and they are amazing at the moment as well. Like, as in, when I say amazing, they're getting wins on the board and they're winning close games, and that is a tough team to beat. And then we also go up against the Titans again, and then we go up against the New York Jets as well. So we have a situation where we can potentially get 2 wins definitely against the Titans and Jets. If you look at it on paper, they should hopefully win those games. Then it kind of comes down to that Colts game as well. So those 2 Colts games. So starting this Sunday, seeing if they beat the Colts this Sunday, and then also beat them again down in a few weeks. So the path is right there. I feel like on paper we have the easiest games remaining on paper, but at the same time I feel like the Texans are probably best positions to basically get the number 1 seed in the AFC South, because I feel like that defense is really legit. I know we're meant to hate the Texans, but you have to also give dues to the Texans, because defensively they are definitely a playoff team, and that's one team I definitely do not want to see in the playoffs or even getting into the playoffs, because if they do, they will be a very dangerous team. So let's not get carried away, because I know the Jacksonville Jaguars control their own destiny, but we also need to remember how fragile this lead is, because we have to remember we are in this dogfight because we blew a 19-point lead to the Texans. The Texans could have been out of this race, not completely, but they could have been not having essentially a chance of winning the AFC South, but we gave them that chance. So we have no ability to basically slip up like that again. So with the stakes higher than ever, let's just kind of look back into how we got into this position with a win over the Titans. And here are my 3 biggest takeaways from week 13. So if you're new here, what I always do after every game is I go through my 3 takeaways. So if you haven't seen this video before, or you have, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps with the algorithm. So let's just get straight into the three biggest takeaways. My first biggest takeaway is that the offense wasn't explosive, but they were very efficient and timely, and we're starting to finally see a real receiving group develop. We were missing so many guys in this game. We lost Walker Little in the game and Parker Washington. Our long snapper even got hurt, and yet Trevor Lawrence was efficient. He was 16 for 27, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is amazing to see. Because one thing about Trevor Lawrence, whenever we're leading, he always finds a way to sell this game or sell a game. Because he will find a way to say, you know what, we're up by 2 touchdowns, let me throw 2 interceptions. But he didn't do that this game, and which I was really happy about. So let's just go into the guys that he can trust. Jacoby Myers, it has been a massive addition. Like, he caught all 6 of his targets for 90 yards and a touchdown. He's becoming that reliable security blanket for Trevor Lawrence. And the good thing about that is he isn't dropping any balls. And every time he gets thrown a ball, he catches it, which is amazing. And I know people have been blaming Trevor Lawrence for the drop passes, but it looks like it might have been the receivers, because Jacoby Myers has no issue catching it. Same thing with Brenton Strange as well. So he's back as well. 2 games in a row now. He's looked so good, and literally we have been missing him all season since he's been out, and his presence has been felt immediately, and he got a touchdown in this game as well. And for me, this is where the silver lining is, and because for Brian Thomas Jr., with Myers and Strange carrying the load, Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't have to be Superman. He doesn't have to win every single rep for this offense to move. He can settle back in, get fully healthy, and kind of find his form without the pressure of being the only option or the number one option. So when the teams now have to double Myers or worry about Strange in the middle, that is when I feel like Brian Thomas Jr. is going to start feasting on the one-on-ones again. And this balance is exactly what he needs to kind of unlock his game for the playoff push. Number 2, the defense was amazing. They suffocated the Titans. We held them to 3 points. We held them to 2 out of 12 on third down. We forced 2 turnovers, sacked them 3 times. The Titans just had 121 net passing yards, and that is a complete and total shutdown. And Josh Allen played really, really well. He's been on a tear lately, and it's really amazing to see that now. And hopefully it carries on over the next few weeks and straight into the playoffs as well. He had 2 more sacks, 3 QB hits, and he was basically living in the backfield. And that's what you want your best player to be doing. And when your best player plays like that, good things happen. And the defense set the tone early, and they never let the Titans breathe. My third takeaway is that we are in first place, but we still have that one major red flag: penalties. And I hate to be the guy who complains after a 22-point win, but we have to be real. We have 13 penalties for nearly 100 yards. We still lead the league in penalties per game. In a blowout against a bad Titans team, you can get away with it, but next week when we play the Colts, that is for the division lead. If we have 13 penalties against a good team like Indianapolis, we will lose, and we have to clean this up immediately if we want to make a real run in January. So I'm not going to go into the summary of the game. I'll just go straight into Sunday's game. We host the Indianapolis Colts at the Everbank Stadium. They are 8-4, we are 8-4, and the winner of this game takes the sole possession of first place, and we basically are on track to basically having a division title. We haven't played them this year, and this is the first of 2 matchups. The atmosphere at the bank is going to be absolutely electric. I don't think they've beaten us in Jacksonville for about, I don't know, since 2017, 2018. So hopefully that continues. This is going to be playoff football in December. That's my breakdown. We're in first place. How does that feel? And let me know whether you're confident heading into the Colts game. And let me know in the comments as always. Hit that like button and subscribe. Duval.